live. Yeah, yeah, we going live. Hey, hey, we going live. Yeah, yeah, we going live. Yeah, yeah, we going. Yeah, yeah, we going. Yeah, 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 we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line. Hey.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
I am Stephanie Fitzpatrick, aka the Advantage Coach. And we have with us today a special guest, Mr. Jordan Moore. Thank you, sir. I feel so honored and privileged because it was no hesitancy. I said, Jordan, can you be on the show? Yeah, I got you. He always say, Mama, I got you, Mama. Okay. So I appreciate that he just it wasn't a hesitancy. He told his management team what she says, what I'm gonna do. So yeah, let's do that. So I appreciate that. And so I'm super excited for you to share your opinions with everybody today, but I'm gonna start off by kind of telling people how we met. And so, as you all know, anybody who's followed us for the 3 years that we've had this podcast, I used to work at a high school in Atlanta, and it's in an urban area. And so always trying to inspire the kids. One of my colleagues didn't know that I did this kind of for business, but she brought in some athletes to talk to our kids to inspire them. And so I just happened to be in the room when I don't even know how I got there, but I just happened to be in the room. I think she invited me to come in. And so the athletes that were on this panel were explaining their situations in their lives. And I have to say no shade to any of the other people on that panel, but Jordan just shined because he truly just poured, you could tell he was pouring his real feelings into those kids that day and sharing very transparently his situation, his life, his everything. And it just caught me. And I was like, ooh. And so I don't even know, afterward, I think I said something to you about it. Mm-hmm. And that just started us on this journey of having this relationship where, when you had your camp, you were like, yo, come.
Definitely.
Help me out, do some stuff. So I appreciate the relationship that you and I have, even though we don't talk a lot. I know, I got you and you got me, and I appreciate that, Jordan. So a little bit of information about Jordan. I'm not gonna read, I promise, I'm not gonna read your bio word for word. But Jordan has changed careers, and I'm gonna let you talk about that. So I'm not gonna talk about that part. What I'm going to talk about is Jordan is a former NFL professional athlete and an Olympic qualifying hurdler. He has ranked amongst the best all-around athletes in 2017 when he won conference championship in the Big 12 and SEC in both the 60 and 110 meter hurdles. Okay, so we're talking just pure D athlete, okay? Played 3 seasons of football at a variety of positions at TCU, transferred to LSU to run track in 2015. He is the 3-time Georgia State champion in hurdles and a bronze medalist in the Junior Olympic Games. He was drafted to the Broncos in 2017, and he spent a little time in Atlanta for the Falcons. And so I love this quote that's here. It says, "Many are called, but few are chosen." And so that is how you live your life, I think, if I'm correct. And I'm not going to talk about it. I'm trying not to talk about it so that you can talk about it. But so I'm going to just be quiet and let you talk now. So share with the people, because anybody who knows Jared and I, they know that our thing is you're more than the sport, right? And I love that you just, we know the truth, but to people, it looks seamless in that transition from athlete. Y'all heard all of the accolades and all of the ways that Jordan has been so clearly an athlete. So from going from that to what you currently do, it looks seamless to us. I'll say that, but I know that there's always a story behind that. So please tell us, since leaving the NFL and sports in general, what have you been up to?
Since leaving the NFL, I've actually still been training. I'm
Yes,
actually,
I see.
yeah, I've still actually been training because I didn't know whether or not I wanted to play again.
Okay.
But I didn't retire. I didn't do anything.
Okay.
Like I literally, I knew I wanted to play again. I just needed time just away. It was a lot of things that happened, you know, personally in my life that I needed to just take a step away and, you know, deal with myself from a mental health standpoint. And,
Good for
you
you.
know,
Yeah.
I came from nothing. You know, they say a lot of football players and a lot of athletes, they go broke after they play. And I started to see a few habits from myself while I was playing that I really didn't like. And, you know, I felt like I needed to step away real quick, learn a little bit about life, and then step back into it and touch that type of money again. And I also wanted to show myself, could I do it on my own? And, you know, I showed myself that I'm a great entrepreneur. I'm a great businessman, great CEO. So I had to show myself that outside of the game that I think many people don't. I had to create an identity for myself outside of the game.
There you go.
I don't ever have to even post a picture with a helmet on ever again, and people don't know exactly who I am. So if I do put the helmet on, it's just a plus. Now, you know, I love football to the core. I've been playing football since I was in the 3rd grade. Everybody in Atlanta has known me to be one of the best or one of the greatest football players to ever walk through Georgia or in the country. I feel like, and as far as from an athlete standpoint, I've been for the past decade one of the top athletes, bar none, in every sport. So I think I needed to take a step away, just mentally, spiritually. I grew. You know, when I was playing, I had a little fro, a shorter cut, and I grew my hair out. Now I got, you know, long locks. So it's like I went on just a different spiritual journey. And, you know, many people that know me or people that are actually from Atlanta, they know that I've been doing music since I was honestly like 15. I've been in the studio, but it was always overshadowed by me being an athlete, which was cool because at the time, you know, I'm like, what's going to get me to what I want to do in life the fastest? What's going to fulfill me the fastest? And, you know, music was cool at the time. I always loved it. I always sang, I always did stuff like that. I was around the production of it. But I think like once I had that opportunity to step away from the game, started dropping music and really started getting a real buzz, like actually like real fans, and people began to love the music, producers, like actual notable producers that, you know, that have reached out, and people that I've been in the studio with, work with, and people that I have coming up to work with. It's like I created a whole another life for myself, like outside the game. And, you know, it's not just J Mo the football player, it's King J Mo when they see me, or Jordan Moore, you know, when it comes to business, like, you know, so it's created so many multifaceted like levels to myself. And I think I'm really the example to show people that, you know, you can do it off of your mind. You know, right now I'm working on a multi-million billion-dollar company probably in the next decade it's going to change the tech world forever. You know, me and my team is really big into that. So, I mean, I got my hands in a lot of different things. One thing, like, you know, I don't glorify money, but I like what the opportunities and the freedom that it allows and that it brings for me, the community, the people around me. Because folks know when I got it on me, when I'm having my bag and everything going right, the community gonna be lit, the camp's gonna be lit, everything gonna be lit, you know. And I think this time I was able to go to another level, create another avenue for myself that I know I see a lot of athletes struggle, because there's a lot of talented athletes that can sing, they can do music, they can do a lot of things, you know, they can dress well, they do art, you know, but the game keeps you in a box. And I don't think the game just keeps you in a box. I think mentally you are in a box, and you know, that's all you've ever done is become in the box. But once you branch out and you understand your strengths outside of the box that you're given, I think you really reach your full potential. And, you know, I think me coming back to the game, I'm going to be like hands down one of the best that they have ever seen play the game. And it might be only for a short time. You know, it might be like a Sean Taylor type situation where it's for a short time, you know, not death or anything like that, but just the
no, I get what you say. I know. Well, we know that ain't what we talking about.
Just the stint of time that we know. I know it may not be forever, but I know the time that I am there, you know, I'm gonna make an impact, and I'm gonna do exactly, you know, what needs to be done. you know, move on with my life and then change it. But I tell them what, I'll be around for the next 10 years with this music, next 20 years really with the music, because it's gonna take so many different transitions from just the rap and the real R&B, then I go gospel, and then I go back to R&B. Like I just do the whole
whatever you feel, right?
yeah, whatever I feel. And I think that's what I'm showing people. Like you really have to do what you feel. You know, a lot of guys, they go crazy. They stay on the field maybe a year too long and mentally regain from that, because that was the time that they needed to,
yeah.
You know, but they signed a contract that, hey, you need to be here, but mentally they're not able to work on themselves. So I think it's fortunate for me, you know, I sacrificed the money at the time for my health, but what it did, it built me up mentally to create a $1 billion company on my own, you know, for the future for myself. And then I can go back and work for somebody else's company. And then ultimately I'm working for myself, and then I can actually have fun playing the game.
That's it.
Yeah, I'm having fun. I'm having fun playing the game now. Like it's not a job to me anymore. For me, it's like I'm gonna treat it serious, like my not even like a 9 to 5. When you love something, it's totally different. It's my craft, so it's gonna be just totally different. I think I'll be able to help a lot of people.
Yeah.
I have a big event coming up in Georgia. It's gonna be amazing. We're gonna have it for the next few decades. It's gonna be global. It's gonna allow high school athletes to actually, that the ones that are overlooked, to actually be looked at by colleges. And you know, eventually it's going to turn Georgia into that number 1, number 2 spot in the country, in the world, that it's supposed to be from.
Love it. Oh yeah, the talent is there for sure. Yes.
It just needs to be cultivated and needs to be put into the right systems. And I think it's, once we get that flow in that stream, and I think I found the problem in that, because that was one of my problems. I had a lot of scholarships, but it was the marketing, you know. It's a lot of 6'2", 6'3", 200-pound guys walking around at these Georgia high schools. Bad, you know, but nobody's on them about their grades. Nobody's on them about that, or nobody's showing them that they got the opportunity to make it out. But, you know, I'm from the same streets they from the east side. Went to Martin Luther King High School. Spent a lot of time on the west side. So I get everything they're going through, from the family standpoint to the no money to just everything, because, you know, you're in a life where you got to glorify certain things that really don't matter. You know, and I think they glorify a lot of things with the social media that really don't matter. So I think I took a step away to really show them that it's different. Life is different, you know.
Love it. I love it. Yes. See what I said? See what I mean, y'all? Like he just answered all my questions. I don't even have to ask anymore, because he just answered them all. But I love it. I love the vibe. I love the mindset. Like, yeah, you get to go and do it your way. Like, it's not, you know what I mean? Like, and that empowering yourself and giving back your power is what you did when you stepped away and you said, I can do something else. And now I can go back if I choose to, and I'm empowered, because I'm not doing it out of this desperation or this need to feel something that, I love it.
Because money can create the platform, but in order to stay there, it's the character and the substance. Absolutely. You know, anybody can get on that stage. There's a lot of people that get on that stage, but can you sustain it and can you stay there? You know, a lot of people got $20 million in their bank account, but they got $20,000 worth of knowledge or $20,000 worth of character. So they're not able to flow frequently. So that 20 million is really all your work. You know, I want $1 billion worth of person, $1 trillion, an infinite amount of personality, an infinite amount of energy, and then the money will follow. I never worry about money. What I worry about is the plan and the execution, because if I put the plan together and I execute, the money is the end process of everything. And that's how I felt with football. I felt like if, you know, because I grew up with both of my parents, but I went through a stint where my parents were split. You know, my dad was in prison at a time. You know, some of my brothers were in prison at a time, and some were doing great things in life. Everything wasn't all bad amongst them, but the family was split. And, you know, in the Black community, a lot of families do split up.
Yes.
Which dilutes the strength that we all have. And, you know, and that's why I try to do things like I do, to intertwine everybody and teach people, you know, you don't got to charge people for everything. You don't have to do all of that, because it's about the relationship. Because if you create $1 billion relationship, you can create $1 billion.
Absolutely.
People want $1 billion before they create a relationship. And it does not work like that, because the ecosystem just doesn't flow. So, you know, that's my perspective on it. You know, like that's just how I think now. That's why I think going back to the game, you know, I think a lot of guys, you know, and that's something like now that I'm talking to you, I think I need to implement too for a lot of guys. Just a mental health barrier where they actually decompress and are able to,
Man,
you know.
count me in. Listen, I don't know what that look like, but all you need to do is count me in, because that's my passion in all of this, like literally. That's why when I don't know if you know, but for a while I was working with the Pro Football Hall of Fame,
Oh, wow.
their behavioral health program, because that's my passion. I want to see these guys like yourself, like literally be whole and happy.
Right.
And it takes more than just being on the field.
Right.
So count me in. I don't know, that's what I do for a living. I'm a certified coach. That's what I do for a living. So we'll chat offline.
I got
But yeah.
Put the cameras on me, 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 put the cameras on me.